Pan-African salutations, revolutionary regards, and welcome to Young Mosiah. My name is Baba Buntu. I am Executive Director of eBukhosini Solutions, a company based in Johannesburg, Azania, focusing on African-centered education. Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, a name so huge and a legacy that has given us such a firm ground to stand on as African people. When I mention Garvey, we are also mentioning the legacies of Mama Amy Jacques Garvey and Mama Amy Ashwood Garvey, three historical figures that have created the possibility for us to stand firm as African people and understand that we can be unapologetic about who we are, that we must be practical in our Pan-Africanism, and that we stand as one African people, regardless of where you are in the world, where you are born, what language you speak. As long as you're Black, you're an African. We stand up together, and today it gives me so much pleasure to introduce to you on what would have been Garvey's 134th Earth Day, the sons and daughters of eBukhosini, or at least a selection of them, who will present to you what they think Garvey's legacy means to them, why they think it is so important to live by the principles and guidelines that Garvey put in place for us. You will be listening to Minenhle, Siyabonga, Mangala, Khanyisa, Ntokozo, Thabang, and based in Brooklyn, New York, you'll also hear from Malcolm and his little sister, who will share with us her revolutionary ululations in the background. Her name is Maya, 6 months old. Now, I take so much great pride in these young people who are articulating the importance to be Black and proud in this time and age, the importance of standing up and not just formulate, but actually put into practice the changes and the building processes we need for this continent. I hope these words challenges you to also be a young Mosiah. Enjoy. Uhuru.
Without knowledge of their past history, origins, and culture is like a tree without roots. Marcus Garvey. Greetings, my dear African brothers and sisters, my elders, Sanbonani. Onbingelelayo ngokukhulu ukuzithoba Minenhle Dlamini, ujama kasijada, uMelendez. And I'm here before you to talk about a brave political activist, a publisher, a journalist, an entrepreneur, but most importantly, an African hero, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. He was born in Jamaica in 1887 on August the 17th. Marcus Garvey graduated in the University of London. He was known for his unapologetic strong beliefs in the African American growth as a Black people. And as an activist, he promoted self-awareness amongst Black people as well as Black consciousness. His goal was to create an economy and society run for and by African people, that they needed to return to their homelands in Africa, which he insisted should be free of white colonial rules. Marcus Garvey has been a strong inspiration to us, the youth, to reminisce and take his strengths from the knowledge he has left behind in many of his books, like The Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey from 1923. If Marcus Garvey were alive today, I would sadly give my report that till this very day, racial oppression still exists. Our African land still belongs to a Van Dyck. It is said, Mr. Garvey, that till today, African lives are at stake. But like you said, if you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated.
Sanibonani, Dumelang, greetings, African family. My name is Siyabonga Lembede. I am from Richards Bay in KwaZulu-Natal. I would love to share a few words on our father, Marcus Mosiah Garvey, since we are in his month, the 8th day of Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So we are celebrating his month, August. So who is Marcus Garvey to me? Marcus Garvey to me is a father, he is a leader, he is the greatest, he is a king, he is a god, and I would love to advise every black man and women, to give themselves a chance, to read the philosophy of our father Marcus Mosiah Garvey. How has Marcus Garvey inspired my life? Our father Marcus Garvey, he gives me the reason to live. He inspires me to be a rebel in this world. A world that always attacks the black skin, the world that's always undermined, the African identity. So our father Marcus, he inspires me, he makes me to realize that I've got power within, to be anything, in this world. So it gives me the strength, and he makes me to realize that by self-liberation, that self-liberation leads me to self-reliance. So there's also a quote here by our Marcus Mosiah Garvey, which says, people without knowledge of their past and origins are like a tree without roots. So that quote itself, I think the first time I saw this quote, maybe it was around 2003. That's when I was inspired, to seek more about my African identity, and to seek more about the achievements that my ancestors have done, the beautiful things that our ancestors have done, for the African continent, So this quote makes me to realize that I need to search more about myself. And the words I would love to ask Marcus Mosiah Garvey, I will say to him if he was still alive, I will firstly apologize to him for not. I will apologize for the whole African race, the African people, for not practicing his philosophy. So I don't know if he will accept my apology, but that's what I will say. I will apologize, to him for, and I will also ask him to give all those who are practicing his philosophy, to give them strength, to continue to practice his philosophy and spread the word of our father Marcus Mosiah Garvey. So, and to also give us lights in this time of corona and vaccination programs. So give thanks for the opportunity. This is my conclusion on our father Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Give thanks. Blessed.
Peace, love, and many blessings. Thobela bagolo ba ka Mangala here, commonly known as Strada to some. It's an honor and blessings bagolo ba ka to be here speaking about the great and honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. The elder to me is a beacon, Before I even dove deep into consciousness, who's this great elder who had various amounts of successful enterprises and employed so many people. So initially, before I did a bit of study on him, he was always a standout because he was a builder economically to our people. He gave great light. So to me, he is an elder who brought self-reliance, the essence of self-reliance to us as a people. He removed the dependency syndrome and the victim syndrome from our essence, and he encouraged us to really look at ourselves as a sovereign nation. So for me, he's a beacon that made us realize that what we should be striving for is self-reliance, not rights, not other things, but self-reliance, to be autonomous, to govern ourselves, to live according to our laws, according to our traditions, and so forth. The elder is so great. He inspired me in many ways. I remember there was a period in my life where I would meditate to that black man, know thyself speech. Each morning I'd wake up and I just listen to that. The power in his voice, the message that is unrelenting, the brutal honesty, he inspired me to not complain. I think that's the first thing. He emphasized our ability to do for self, not rely on anyone. That's what really inspired me the most, that he was not looking to integrate, but really live autonomously as ourselves. Know thyself. Like, what is wrong with you, black man? I remember that the thing would say, other races and other nations are doing for themselves. Why can't you do for themselves? The white man inhales the same air, he bleeds the way you bleed. However, he's the master.
Hello, my name is Khanyisa Mhlongo, and today I would like to say a few words of I would like to acknowledge actually a very powerful man called Marcus Garvey. And so the first question that I've been asked is, who is Marcus Garvey to you? Well, Marcus Garvey to me is a black hero. He is a person who set a trend, if we use modern day language, on black people acknowledging their skin, taking pride in their skin and being proud of being black. Marcus Garvey is also a symbol of someone taking on life, and living it faithfully so, and like on a day-to-day basis, trying to empower black people. That is who Marcus Garvey is to me. And the second question is, how has he inspired you? Well, he's inspired me in many ways. He's inspired me to take pride in my African skin. He's inspired me to take pride of my African heritage and to actually believe that black people can and will do anything to strive. Marcus Garvey also inspires me, not really inspires me, but also makes me realize how black people are capable and how black people are actually very powerful. That is what Marcus Garvey inspires me. And if he were alive today, I would say, thank you. Thank you, Marcus Garvey, for being daring to be black. At a time where being black was actually not even a thing. That is one thing I would say to him. And I would also want to learn from him and actually understand what it is that he had faced and what made him to push through for black people. Thank you.
Greetings, my fellow African brothers and sisters. My name is Thato, Ntokozo, Mashiyana, and I'm going to speak a bit about my hero, Marcus Garvey. To me, Marcus Garvey is an eternal voice of empowerment for all Africans around the world. He may have not been born in Africa or even lived in Africa, but the relevance of his work in our continent and also around the world always leaves me in awe. Marcus Garvey represents how we all ought to act as Africans in a world where we have been stripped of our very being. His ideas on how to rebuild ourselves and regain what we have lost continue to mold my understanding of African history and its relevance in finding my purpose as a black man. He has inspired me to look at myself in a completely different way from how the modern world portrays me to be. Africans have been relegated to some of the lowest levels of society, and seeing past this through the work of Marcus Garvey has inspired me to push others to also try and see through the illusions we are living in. I would also like to give thanks to two great women who were very instrumental in ensuring that Garvey's work is spread far and wide and that it lives on. Those women are Amy Ashwood and Amy Jacques, who were each at some point Marcus Garvey's wife and bent backwards when it came to playing a part in solidifying Marcus Garvey's legacy. If Marcus Garvey was alive, I would tell him that his work is unparalleled and give thanks to him for sparking a fire in the souls of African people that had long been put out. Give thanks.
Greetings Baholo, greetings Black family. My name is Thabang Mohale, a proud son of eBukhosini Solutions, and in this video we are just showing respect to Umkhulu, our great grandfather, the great honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and we're just showing respect, giving commemoration and veneration to our black hero. And where does even one start or begin to show gratitude or even speak about this great giant of Africa? Who is Marcus Garvey to me? Marcus Garvey is a phenomenal black hero to me. He is my thought provoker. He is one of the pantheons we classify with, in fact, in Africa, one of the great gods who has inspired and shown so much to black people as a race, what we can accomplish, what we are, and who are we meant to be. So that's really Marcus Garvey to me. And how has he inspired me? He has inspired me so much when it comes to race relations, with the discrimination and prejudice we have seen in so many years. He has inspired me with just being self-reliant about myself as a black African man and being assertive when it comes to my identity and my culture, my heritage, traditions, and our philosophy. He's been a very inspirational groundbreaker to me when it comes to self-reliance, when it comes to building for community and gaining the knowledge of self. With just one of his inspirational quotes, he said, "Man, mind thyself," which is very powerful for me. I take as an inspiration. And what would I say to Marcus Garvey now? I would really first of all thank him for the selfless contributions, for the sacrifices he has fought, for the contributions he has made for us to be aware of ourselves when it comes to identity, when it comes to the powers that we have, when it comes to our traditions, looking back to our history, some culture, and with his legacy, living an paramount and very magnificent legacy that he has left. That is my inspiration that I'm getting, and that's what I would say to Ubaba Marcus Garvey, Umkhulu wethu, our ancestor, the Tonga lethu. We give thanks, let power.
Dumang Matlhape. And who is Marcus Garvey to me? To me, Marcus Garvey is one of the greatest leaders that the black world has produced. And Marcus Garvey was a great businessman. Marcus Garvey was the voice of unrelenting, fearless black truth in the face of adversity. How did he inspire me? He inspired me to stand by the fact that the best thing that we can do the best investment we can make is in ourselves, in our people, in our community. and that the two are bound together. And if he was alive, what would I say to him? I would say to him, thank you. Thank you so much for having poured your life into your people, into the advancement and improvement of your people. I would say thank you. I would say we are still learning. We are still discovering you. We are still improving ourselves as you wished for us. Thank you so much, Uncle Marcus.
Hello, my name is Melendez. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Today we're here to commemorate the birthday of a freedom fighter known throughout the world as Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was a man that influenced the movement of Black power and Black togetherness all throughout the African diaspora and inspired many people all throughout my country, your country, all throughout the world to unite together as one in our destiny. And one of my favorite quotes by him is one people, one aim, and one destiny. Now this quote really, it inspires me because it really puts into words that no matter where we come from, no matter what our background is, you know, we still are one people in the African diaspora. You know, we're one people with one aim. We're all fighting for the same thing, which is freedom. And our one destiny is to be united together as one under the red, black, and green flag, and our destiny as one people. So today I will be playing a song for you by Bob Marley called Redemption Song. And that's my sister. That's my sister.